end.
Perfect. Thanks, Sarah, and my colleague for present. Now in my turn, my name is Scarlett Romano. I am working in Arcadis. So considering what my colleagues were explaining, net zero carbon, decarbonization, and energy are one of the topics that we need to focus now on in this type of building and also in other type of buildings. If you notice here, we developed this graphic of the work considering all the requests for different clients that we have considering the year 2022. So we can see that these topics are always considered and always demand for the different clients. Now we need to know how we respond when they have different questions regarding how to achieve, for example, net zero carbon in their buildings. Also having in mind that in achieving a climate neutral building sector for 2050, the majority of the building, of the stock of the building will be already built. So we need to focus strongly in the renovation activities that we need to implement. If we go to the next slide, things. Considering this on having this on mind, develop a kind of pilot project or a prototype who provide the different stakeholders information regarding how much will be the cost impact of them for the maintenance this building and also how will be the cost impact for achieving net zero carbon was our main focus for this prototype or dashboard that we developed. So how we developed this? We developed this prototype in three different phases. The first one was the data collection. So we developed different site visits and also based in our experience, we developed these site visits in the years 21 and 2023 we check different projects where we have already information regarding to the energy performance, for example, of this building. And also we have from this project some ESG report, that means environmental, social, and governance report, and also CDD reports, carbon due diligence. Thus provide us different information regarding how much will be the cost involved in this project to be net zero carbon in the future. The second step that we develop, considering all the information collected, we organize these in different groups. For example, we differentiate the type of use of the building that we were evaluated, also the site of this building, the year of construction, the modification energies, and if was available, the energy certificate of this building. After having visited this project and organizing the information collected through the site visit and based on our experience, we developed two benchmarks. One was the CAPEX and the second one was the CARBEX. The CAPEX was the benchmark who provide us different information regarding how much money was required to do the maintenance of the building, and the CARBEX was how much investment was required to achieve net zero carbon in these projects. If we go to the next slide, here we can see, for example, an example regarding to the CAPEX. We developed these different type of tables considering the information available and that what we collect on site. We organize this benchmark separate in three categories. When we collect or we identify that the building were in a good shape, so we gave this a value of 1, or in a fair conditions, then we gave a point of 1.1, or it is in a poor condition, then we gave this a value of 1.2. So we organize this all this information, these three categories, and also parallelly we include the years. So the life cycle assessment of the building. How will this be impact of the quantity of investment required to do the maintenance of the building? For example, if we consider one of the possibilities or one of the results that we get is that if we consider an office building built in the 90s with a year for more or less of 30 years in a fair condition, we were able to estimate the quantity of euros per square meter request to maintain this building in the first year, in the next 5 years, and also in the next 10 years. If we go to the next slide, here we develop the same type of exercise, but now we focus in the carbon expenditure. Here the challenge was bigger because also we need to consider which were the type of activities or action that the different buildings were required to be implemented to be able to be net zero carbon. For example, some of them were with photovoltaic or changes in the type of energy or changes in the type of illumination. So we obtained this information from the carbon due diligence report, and then we organize as well this considering these three categories: when the building were in good connection, good state, or fair or poor. We developed the same organization of all the information, and also we were able to get this information in based on the first year of investment, and then in the second and 5 years, and then to go to the 6-10 years of investment. So here we can also send the numbers that were able to be obtained during this carbon expenditure definition. If we go to the next slide, here, after having the CARBEX and also the CAPEX, the idea is that with these two values, we gave us the information of the investment request to maintain the building and also to transform the building and net zero carbon building. We can sum these values and provide all the stakeholders related to different type of projects, in this case also have warehouses, how will be the investment that they will request to maintain the building in a good level and also be net zero carbon building. In this case, this initial benchmark we developed for different cluster type, and also this benchmark that were considered the CO2 emissions that we were compared. We established all this comparison based on the energy performance of the building. From this evaluation, also we were able to see how the legal changes that we have in Germany, when, for example, what changed for the NF simulation to, the NF calculation for energy to the GEG, was the impact on the energy performance of the building, and how also was request to modify maybe the actions that need to be implemented in the building to be able to be to become net zero carbon. If we go to the next slide. Thanks. So, which was the objective behind this pilot project, this assessment tool? We have as an objective to develop a tool that was easy and fast to use. That in this tool we were able to show in different type of data in a really easy way, and can be also compared side by side. For example, we in the same platform we were able to have how many was the energy performance of the building, how much investment cost, and also how much investment was required for net zero carbon. So everything in the same simulation view, and also provide a general transparent summary information. Here again, some of the topics that our colleagues already discussed. We are starting in this platform, so we don't have a lot of data. As soon as much data is available, we are able as well to improve our results. The objective of this tool is to provide this platform for the owners, facility management, and researchers as well, to have a tool that provide them information to make better and informed decision regarding which are the elements that they need to improve in their buildings to be to maintain the same level of the building itself, and also be net zero carbon. Which are the outcomes that we were able to reduce through this platform is this embodied carbon benchmark, to know which is the performance of the building regarding to the CO2 emissions, as well these two capex that I already explained. The capex, how much investment was requested to maintain the technical expenditure of the building, and as well the investment to be able to become net zero carbon building. And also one of the last outcome was to produce a summary report including the inflation rate. If we go to the next slide, here is how the process of developing this solution work. So as I explained already, we have the site pieces, and also based in our information, mainly for ESG and CDD report that we have from these clients. This report already provide us which were some of the alternatives that different projects use to improve their building regarding to maintenance and also to reduce their CO2 emissions. After having this data, was they clean this data and prepare this data to be able to be used in this data dashboard that we develop. After that, we need to train the model and make a validation. That means to check if the result that we were having after the definition of the logarithm were correctly obtained. Then we have the phase of taste the data. We were checking if the result that we were obtaining were correct. And now currently we are in the phase of improve. That means make an expansion in our benchmarking that also represent to have more projects involved in this tool, and also help the logarithms that we already developed to have a machine learning process. How does work? How does what is the visualization of this dashboard? If we go to the next slide, perfect. Here is how this visualization of the dashboard work. That means in all this platform, we were able to or any clients or any person who has information can introduce, for example, the year of the construction of the element, and also the square meter of the element, and which is the segment type, in this case, for example, warehouse, and which is the type of energy that is demand for the project. And with this information, this dashboard represent immediately using this color code from A to A, which is the emission of the buildings, and after this information as well, the CARBEX and the CAPEX, considering inflation. Here also we want to add a map of the building to be able to locate where are these located. For data protection, not all the project are able uh, currently to be localized in the map, but this is something that we will try to still checking with all the companies if they are willing to make more of their information public, without the name obviously, but for having, for example, the address as a city. If we go to the next slide, here we have a small video how this works. If you can play. Perfect. Here, for example, is an example. You have a list of year. You click that, which is the year contractor, which is your square meter. Then is the warehouse, in this case, as an assessment type, which is the energy that is required for the building that is working. And after this information is introduced in the software work directly and said, okay, this building is on a category C, for example. This is the total CARBEX that it is required, and also the CAPEX that is required considering the specific characteristic of this building. Our idea is that with this dashboard, we can provide all the information required. As soon we have obviously more information, so we can expand our benchmarking, and the machine and the function inside of this logarithm work and can be predict as well, which is the information that it is required regarding to the investment for other projects. This will give our clients and also the stakeholder related to these warehouses the first tool to know which is an initial investment that is required to maintain their status and also to become net zero carbon. That is what we develop. If you have any question, you can ask me.